everybody, welcome back to Row Country Plans. I'm so excited that you're here to watch another one of my videos. Today we are planning in my Mini Biz Babe Happy Planner. This is a mini dashboard layout that I absolutely love. I use it for my business, planning for the week of Monday, July 13th through Sunday, July 19th. And so to get started, I'm going to go ahead and show you what sticker books I decided to pull from for this week's spread. I have 4 of them. I'm going to be pulling out of the Flowers book. I'm also using Productivity. I am also using my new Choose Happy and my new BizBabe sticker books. And so let's go ahead and pull out the pages and get started. Okay, so what I like to do before I plan a little bit, I do go ahead and actually pre-pull some stickers, but I do not pre-plan my spreads. I really like to sort of go through my sticker books and see what I like, pull out what I like, and then try to make something out of that. So out of my Productivity book, I'm pulling out these 2 stickers. One of those says work hard. The other one says goal. I'm definitely going to use both of those. Then I pulled out this new Choose Happy book, and this is really going to set the mood for the entire spread for me. These are the stickers that I pulled out of that book, and they are gorgeous. I love those shades of the pink that is available in that book overall. So I just really thought, yes, when I opened that book up, I knew I had to use some of the stickers out of that. I'm also pulling out of BizBabe just these colorful boxes and a checklist and a couple of those flags. I thought those were really cute. Now I'm also going to pull out of Flowers, but I haven't pulled anything out of here yet, and that's because I sort of wanted to see how everything that I've already pulled so far is going to come together, and then I'll decide if I am still going to use any of those florals, and if so, how I'm going to do that. Okay, everybody, so as I mentioned, this is my work planner. I usually just schedule from Monday through Friday, but I am noticing that I am giving this client a little more work, and I am actually considering whether or not I'm going to plan through Saturday. If I do, I'm going to need to pull a couple more stickers, but until then, we'll figure that out. What I like to do on the left-hand side is give myself some decorative elements as well as some functional, and then primarily over on the right, it is more functional space for me. And I do like to layer my stickers as much as possible. So what I thought I would do is start here on the right hand side, and I always like to use this upper box, which is Monday through Sunday, with this little bit of peachy color. I like to cover that, and I like to layer some boxes. I use this section for something specific, and I always like to go ahead and layer my boxes here. So what I thought I would do is start with this sticker here, which I think is super pretty, and we're going to go ahead and lay it down just sort of as it is, but I'm going to do it so that the top is covered, and I need to try to get that straight, so give me 1 second. Super pretty. And then we'll go ahead and layer this other box as well, just to cover this space, because I don't use the Monday through Friday situation. And this time I'm going to bring it down here just a little bit. Yeah, and I do like that. I know it covers a lot of that was behind it, but I think it's gonna be okay. Yep, I do. I like that. And I thought I would go ahead and bring in a couple flowers to sort of take up any space that needed to be taken up. And like I said, this is my work planner, but I have a different sticker that I like to use there. And so I think I'm going to cover the majority of the word work with this flower here. And I'll also just sort of bring in these flowers here, which cover up any more of the lines that we're showing. Yeah, I really do like how that is turning out. Now I do need to trim off the top of that sticker there where it's hanging over the edge, and I'll go ahead and do that. While I'm doing that, I wanted to welcome you again to Row Country Plans. I am a new channel, but I am not new to YouTube. If you are new here today visiting, please consider subscribing. I would really love to have you as a member of my channel. At this point, I'm going to bring in my goal because that is what I use this particular box for, this section for every month or every week. Every week I use this for goals. So yeah, that looks really, really super cute. I really like that. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to put down are my work schedule. And so these little boxes say follow up, and then I have the, darker pinks and also that sagey green that I pulled. And I'm just going to stagger these and alternate them on each day. And I'm going to use those boxes really just to keep track of the number of hours that I work on a particular day for this one client. I do dedicate my work planner to one client, and it is really working out very well. I find, because I work for a number of different clients, I find it easiest to keep things separate, even though I may be transitioning throughout the day between some of the clients that I work for. I do find for this one in particular, there is a lot of back and forth between she and I, and so I really like to have my one work planner for that client separate and apart from everything else that I do. It just makes it super easy for me to have information for her at my fingertips. And so I really, really like how this is turning out. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on the left side of my planning or my planner page. I really like this for more decorative. I really think for me, it keeps me motivated to stay inside of my planner if it's something pretty to look at. And this new Choose Happy book, and it's new to me, guys. I don't know if it's new, but it is new to me. And oh my gosh, I did a flip through on my channel. I'll have that linked in the description box below so that you can go back and take a look at that. But this book, when I opened it and flipped through it, there were things that I found that were just stunning to me, and I knew that this week I wanted to go ahead and break that book open and start to use it. Yeah, and so this mini box that I'm putting down now, it looks like a mini dashboard box. I'm not sure what it's called, but it fits here almost perfectly. This little header says pretty important stuff right here, and if you watched my last video, but if you haven't, I'll go ahead and let you know that this is the part of my planner that I call my curveball. So there are things that I definitely have to plan for every week and prioritize every week. And then there are always those curveballs that my client will call me up and be stressed out about because she forgot something. And my job is to let her know that it's totally fine and we'll get it handled. So I always like to leave a little dedicated space just for those curveballs that come. They might come on Monday, they might come on Friday afternoon, but whenever they come, I have a place to jot those down and then of course work them into whether it be this week or something that's going to translate into the following week. Okay, so at this point I am going to start bringing in my florals. Every little bit of this planner spread is saying to me that I do need to add some more florals, and I think this week I'm going to use the majority of the flowers that I pull out of this book as part of a backdrop for just one quote sticker that I'm going to place up here in this upper left-hand corner. So what I decided to do was pull something that's got some of that deeper pink, that hot pink, I guess. But then I also wanted to bring in some of these sagey green colored flowers. They have these yellow centers and they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and just pop some music on here real quick as you watch the whole thing come together for me. I do end up trimming some of these flowers back, and then I also just end up laying them out together, layering them around to make one larger sticker to go ahead and put onto my spread. Oh my gosh, I am just loving the way that this layering is turning out. This is going to be the perfect backdrop for that just one little sticker that says work hard. I just always like to have something in my planner every week, whether it be an inspirational quote, something to remind me to kick my butt into gear, anything that will help me stay motivated and stay in my planner every week. That's what I try to do, and I always try to do it up in the upper left-hand corner so that when I open my spread every day, of course, I read left to right, and that really is the first thing that catches my eye. I also like using that wax paper method when I do something like that, so I can easily peel it off and lay it down as one sticker rather than trying to put all of these in place onto my planner page at one time, if that makes sense. Now, I realize I've come out of frame for just a moment. I apologize. I promise it's going to all come back into play here. But I really, really like those sagey green. They're almost a bluish color flower with those yellow centers. They're just so pretty, and they really play off well of the boxes on the right-hand side of my page. So I decided to go ahead and bring in some more of these. They are actually individual, and there's a couple groupings of these in that flowers book, and guys, I just love it. So I wanted to go ahead and bring those in back into the spread and kind of move them around the page a little bit to maybe take up some of the edge of the little dashboard that I put down at the bottom and sort of fill that in. And then I'm going to go ahead and place in my little flags. One says email and then the other says phone call, and really I could have switched them and gone either way with those because I really handle about the same amount of emails as I do telephone calls for this client on a weekly basis. But I really did decide to go with the email on the left-hand side because that flower that is down in the corner is more of that pinkish color of this flag that says phone call that I'm laying down now. So of course it took me a minute to sort of get that straight. I did pick it up and put it back down a couple times, but eventually it gets where it needs to get. Sometimes these little stickers, they do tend to, they look like they're going to go down straight, and I know I'm not alone because I see a lot of people do that too where they really try to get it straight and it just won't go. The next thing I'm going to lay in, of course, is one of these little checklists. And again, that's that sagey green color. So this week is really a lot about pinks, hot pinks, and that sagey green. And oh my gosh, it is just so pretty. I really am loving how this spread is coming out. But I also like that it's functional. It's decorative, but it's clean and it's functional for me, which is really important. So out of the planner basics, I'm just pulling this one sticker. It says be productive, and I always try to put that at the top. So this is on the left hand side of the spread, but it's on the right hand side of the page. And I always like to keep a running list of things that I need to make sure that I handle. Now, of course, this little checklist is a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim this off with my scissors, and then I'm going to layer the Be Productive on top. So my cut may not be perfect, but my Be Productive sticker is going to be very forgiving and it's going to help me make sure that that looks at least mostly decent. And also, what was kind of nice is that I had in my Planner Basics book a Be Productive sticker that had a little sagey green star next to it. So I really am enjoying how that is turning out. So I go ahead and I just trimmed off the rest of the flowers along the edge of the paper. And just because I didn't want the stickers hanging off, of course we had to go ahead and trim them. So I have this one other little tiny checklist, and I'm going to use that down here in the corner of my curveball section. I like to have some symmetry on my page, and I like how these are sort of diagonal from each other, these two checklists. So, and I always try to put one down there just for my own peace of mind. If I'm jotting something down, I kind of like to keep track of how I receive information. So if it is towards the end of the week, I can let her know, hey, that's going to be something I'm not going to get till Monday for you, but I'm going to get there. But I feel like that phone call flag is sort of lost in the center there. And so I come back into my flowers book because I remembered that there was this cluster of those really beautiful sagey green flowers that match these ones up here in the corner, you know, the ones with the yellow centers. And I just thought that would be a really good backdrop for that flag, but to also sort of bring those flowers even further into the spread. So I'm going to go ahead and lift that flag that I had so much trouble getting on straight, and I'm going to go ahead and put down those flowers. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just kind of amazing to me what some stickers and a little bit of time will do for your soul. This is something that I find so relaxing. I don't know. Leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel about it. When you sit down to do your planner spreads, even if you are planning for one of the most hectic weeks that you think you're going to have, do you find some peace in it? Because that's how I feel. I feel like no matter what I have to plan for the next day or the next week, my planning process allows me to process really everything that is going to be coming my way. But the stickers just makes it so pretty, and it just is so calming. Oh, goodness. Anyway, sorry to get sidetracked there. All right, so this is how it's looking, and I am liking it, but my work week planning stickers for my time, I do need to cover the sage green ones because they say follow-up, and I actually just keep track of the hours that I work. So I wanted to bring in my paper trimmer. I don't know if you have one, but I have found in my planning that this really does come in handy. I will caution though that I wish I would have left my washi tape on the wax paper. And I usually do that, but for whatever reason, I went ahead and peeled it off and just put it right onto my trimmer. So I did struggle a little bit to remove it. Next time, I will remind myself to just leave it on the wax paper. So I'm just sort of straddling the center of where this paper cutter will cut so that I can cut this in half, because of course it's a little too thick as it is right now to go over the wording on those sage green stickers, but I wanted to bring some of these flowers over onto this side without making it too flowery, if that makes sense. So I go ahead and I just cut it in half, and then I'm sort of figuring out just how far I want this little bit of washi to go. I don't want it to go and be the width of that box all the way. I want to be able to see some of that sage green after the fact. So you'll see here that I sort of just with my fingers figure out where I think I want to cut it. And I do cut it straight across, but then I do come back and I cut it at a diagonal as well for the end of that. I just think that for me, it's just more pleasant to my eye to see the transition between the washi tape and that little box. And so that's how I chose to go ahead and cover up mine. That's something that I've just picked up from other planners, watching a lot of different people on YouTube and really paying attention to what people are posting on their Instagram when they post their spreads. I've always been noticing lately that the jagged edge of the washi tape tear that people are doing, that is super cool. But for this spread, I wanted something a little less dramatic, but something that has as much impact. So that's the way I decided to go with that. And so luckily for me, I just do have the 2 sagey green boxes that I need to cover, and I'm doing just the very same thing, just sort of with my fingers measuring where I want it to end, and then I go ahead and cut it off at the diagonal so that it will also transition off of there. But I decided for this spread, for this time, to just go ahead and leave the hot pink boxes just the way they are. I think in hindsight, I might have actually wanted to bring in some more of those little sagey green flowers with the yellow. Oh my gosh, I think that would have been super pretty. But I really try hard to know when to say when, especially when it's for this work planner, because like I said, I need really to be able to focus, and at some point for me this would become too distracting if I did way too much decorative on that right hand side. But for the other part of that piece of washi, I didn't want to waste it, and because I don't use Saturday and Sunday in this planner, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and place this washi across the Saturday and Sunday to cover the date. But to also create a space where if there's anything that I need to write down extra, I do have that at the bottom of the spread to be able to do that. And oh my gosh, you guys, this, I mean, let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? I'm like in awe at the moment because it is so beautiful to my eye. It is very peaceful and it's very functional, and I think it's going to work out really well for my next week. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it back into my planner, and we'll take a look here and see what it looks like. Oh, I'm loving the greens and the pinks together. Oh my gosh, I'm just really, really happy with this, and I'm so glad that I busted out my new books that I picked up from a Happy Planner on that sale to go ahead and make the spread for this week. You know, it's just going to remind me to work hard, but take a moment, not necessarily to smell the flowers, but to enjoy the flowers that I have in my planner spread this week. I really, really hope that anybody who was watching to this point has enjoyed this video today. I do want to thank you for tuning in and remind you that if you are not yet a subscriber of Row Country Plans, to please go ahead and do that by clicking that button. Go ahead and notify or have YouTube notify you too whenever I upload a video. Guys, this is my Happy Planner mini dashboard for July 13 through July 19, and I thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and watch another video while you're here. Bye. See you next time.